You wake up. You walk to the mirror. Same belly, different day. You slept 8 hours. You haven't eaten anything yet. Your body has been fasting since last night. By every logical measure, it should be burning fat right now. But it isn't. In fact, in the next 45 minutes, depending on what you do, your body might not just skip fat burning, it might actively switch into fat storage mode. Not because of what you eat, not because you skipped the gym, but because of 4 invisible mistakes you make every single morning without even knowing it. Today, we fix that. This is not that kind of morning routine. Forget the journaling. Forget the cold plunge influencer content. Forget the wake up at 5 a.m. and suffer motivation. This is physiology, not inspiration. Here at FatCode, we don't rely on willpower. We rely on mechanisms. We decode the body's instruction manual so you can rewrite the code. And today, the chapter we're decoding is called the Cortisol Awakening Response, and why it is the hidden switch that either unlocks your fat stores every morning or locks them tight for the rest of the day. The science. Your morning is a hormonal battlefield. Here's something no one tells you. The moment you open your eyes, your body triggers a hormonal event called the Cortisol Awakening Response, the CAR. In the first 30 to 45 minutes after waking, your cortisol levels spike to the single highest point they will reach in an entire 24-hour cycle. This sounds alarming, but it is supposed to happen. This natural spike is your body's way of saying, the day is beginning. Mobilize energy, burn fuel, be alert. If you navigate this window correctly, you ride this wave, you get a clean burst of energy, your metabolism activates, and the fat-burning machinery switches on for the rest of the day. But here's the problem. Visceral fat, the hard, stubborn fat around your organs, has been shown in research to have a significantly higher density of glucocorticoid receptors compared to fat stored elsewhere in your body. Your belly fat is specifically designed to listen for cortisol signals. And if the wrong signals keep coming, stress, artificial light, caffeine before you're ready, your phone in your face, the body interprets the environment as dangerous. And when the body feels danger, it tells an enzyme called lipoprotein lipase, LPL, to activate. LPL is the fat storage switch. It takes energy from your bloodstream and physically locks it into fat cells. So even if you eat a clean, healthy lunch at noon, your body may already be primed to store it. Because of a signal you sent at 7 a.m. The good news? This is reversible. There are 4 specific steps that send safety signals to your nervous system in the morning. And when your body feels safe, it stops hoarding and starts burning. Let's go through them. Step 1. The adrenal cocktail. Most people wake up and immediately reach for coffee. This is a metabolic mistake. Here's why. While you slept, you went 7 to 8 hours without drinking water. Your body was still breathing, still processing, still running systems. You lost close to half a liter of water just through overnight respiration alone. This means your blood is thick and viscous in the morning. Your heart has to physically work harder to pump it through your vascular system. That cardiovascular strain, it raises cortisol. Before you have even looked at your phone, your stress hormones are already climbing. Now add this. Your adrenal glands, the small organs sitting on top of your kidneys that produce cortisol, run on a very specific mineral balance. They need sodium and potassium to function calmly. When sodium levels are low, your body compensates by producing more aldosterone and adrenaline to maintain blood pressure. More adrenaline means more cortisol. So the very first protocol of the morning is this. A large glass of room temperature water. Add a pinch of high-quality sea salt or pink Himalayan salt. Add a squeeze of fresh lemon. The water rehydrates the blood. The sodium signals the adrenal glands that resources are available. There is no shortage. There is no emergency. The lemon adds potassium and supports liver function. This is the adrenal cocktail.
It is not glamorous. It is not a supplement stack. But biologically, it is telling your stress system, stand down, we are fine. If you've been drinking coffee the moment you wake up your whole life, drop a like right now. You're not alone, and you're about to fix it. Keep going.
Step 2. The light signal.
Your body is not just governed by willpower or habits. It is governed by a master clock inside your brain called the suprachiasmatic nucleus. This clock controls everything. When cortisol releases, when melatonin releases, when your metabolism speeds up, when it slows down. If this clock is out of sync, your cortisol stays elevated not just in the morning but all day and sometimes into the night. This is the classic tired but wired feeling. And chronically elevated cortisol drives visceral fat accumulation relentlessly. The only way to properly set this clock every morning is with light. Specifically, the full spectrum of natural sunlight. Here's what most people do instead. They wake up, flip on the overhead LED lights, and scroll their phone in bed. Indoor artificial light measures around 500 lux. It sends a weak, biologically confusing signal, not quite enough to trigger the proper wake-up hormones, but just enough to create low-grade anxiety. Outdoor morning sunlight, even on a fully cloudy day, is over 10,000 lux. The photons from sunlight enter your eyes and travel directly to the hypothalamus, triggering a sharp, healthy cortisol spike, which is exactly what you want, followed by a steep drop. It sets a biological timer. It tells your body, it is morning. Burn energy now, sleep later. And here's a beautiful bonus. Morning sunlight stimulates the production of serotonin, and serotonin is the direct precursor to melatonin. So by getting 5 to 10 minutes of natural light in your eyes at 8 a.m., you are literally engineering deeper sleep at 10 p.m. The protocol: get outside within 30 minutes of waking, no sunglasses, 5 to 10 minutes minimum. Eyes open, face toward the sky. You do not need to run, you do not need to exercise, you just need to exist outside.
This is the step most people resist the hardest. You must wait at least 90 minutes after waking before you drink your first cup of coffee. I know, it sounds brutal. Let me give you the science, because once you understand the why, it becomes easy. Throughout the day, your brain builds up a chemical called adenosine. Adenosine creates sleep pressure. It is what makes you feel tired. When you sleep, your body works to clear this residual adenosine. But when you first wake up, this clearance is not fully complete. Some adenosine is still floating around. Now, your natural cortisol awakening response is already doing its job. It is naturally waking you up, energizing you, pushing you into alertness. But if you immediately drink coffee, the caffeine molecules race to your adenosine receptors and block them. You feel artificially alert, but the residual adenosine hasn't gone anywhere. It is building up behind a dam. Then, at 2 p.m., the caffeine wears off. The dam breaks. All that accumulated adenosine floods in at once. Your energy crashes hard. And here is the critical moment. When your energy suddenly plummets, your body releases a compensatory spike of cortisol to push you through. That afternoon cortisol spike is what drives sugar cravings, brain fog, and visceral fat storage in the evening. By waiting 90 minutes, you let your natural cortisol peak run its course, and you allow your body's own systems to establish wakefulness first. When you drink coffee 90 minutes in, it operates as a performance enhancer, not a life support system. The energy is real. The afternoon crash disappears. The cortisol stays where it belongs. 3 steps in, and this is already different from every morning routine you've seen before, because this is biology, not vibes. If you're not subscribed to FatCode yet, do it now, one tap. Let's finish the protocol.
We have been told to do HIIT workouts in the morning to spike metabolism. If you are already carrying visceral fat and living with chronically elevated stress, morning high-intensity training can actually be counterproductive. HIIT creates a hypoxia signal, a perceived lack of oxygen, which spikes cortisol even higher, right at the moment the body needs to calm down. The right morning movement is walking, but not just any walking, walking with optic flow. Here is the mechanism. When you walk forward through space, the images around you pass across your eyes. Trees, buildings, road markings, everything flowing past your peripheral vision. This specific pattern of visual movement sends a direct signal to the amygdala, the brain's fear and threat detection center. Research shows this pattern of optic flow actively quiets the amygdala. It reduces anxiety. It lowers cortisol. Evolutionarily, this makes sense. Walking forward meant you were moving, exploring, hunting. You had agency. Being still meant you were hiding, cornered, or in danger. A 10 to 15-minute outdoor walk in the morning combines 3 signals at once. The light signal from step 2, the optic flow signal quieting the amygdala, and the gentle physical movement activating your muscles without spiking cortisol. It is the most efficient 15 minutes of your entire morning.
This final step is defined by what you do not do. Do not touch your phone for the first 30 minutes after waking. When you open social media, emails, or news the moment your eyes open, you are flooding a completely vulnerable waking brain with a storm of dopamine hits and stress triggers. You are reading other people's emergencies. You are seeing comparison. You are reacting to notifications. Before you have stood up, you have activated your sympathetic nervous system, fight or flight, and handed over control of your cortisol to an algorithm. This is not a mindset lecture. This is metabolic protection. A brain that begins the day in reactive mode stays in stress mode for hours. A brain that begins the day with a protected, calm window keeps cortisol low and keeps the fat-burning door open. Delay the phone by just 30 minutes. That's all.
Here it is, clean and simple. 1. Wake up, don't touch the phone. Protect your dopamine baseline. Start in proactive mode, not reactive mode. 2. Drink the adrenal cocktail. Large glass of room temperature water, a pinch of sea salt, squeeze of lemon. Hydrate the blood, support the adrenals, lower the alarm bells. 3. Get outside within 30 minutes. 5 to 10 minutes of natural sunlight, no sunglasses, set the circadian clock. Engineer tonight's sleep right now. 4. Walk for 10 to 15 minutes. Let optic flow quiet the amygdala. Combine movement, light, and nervous system reset into one action. 5. Wait 90 minutes before your first coffee. Let the natural cortisol awakening response complete. Make caffeine a performance tool, not a crutch. Most people start their morning at war with their own biology. They force themselves awake with screens and stimulants, then wonder why they're exhausted, inflamed, and storing fat, despite trying hard to eat right and exercise. This protocol asks you to do the opposite. Stop forcing, start aligning. You are not adding more discipline to your morning. You are removing the interference that was working against you all along. Drop the cortisol, fix the morning, and the visceral fat becomes far easier for your body to access, mobilize, and reduce over time. Not because you suffered more, but because your body finally felt safe enough to let it go. I'll see you in the next one.